Winning on the road is so difficult to do, especially in the Missouri Valley Conference, which Southern Illinois got the job done Saturday night. Now they will try to do it again tonight, Wednesday night at Valpo, as your Saluki radio previews the Beacons and the Salukis. With the coach Rodney Watson, I am Luke Martin. Coach, let's talk about that win at Illinois State. There's many areas you can look to, but Trent Brown, 6 made threes, and they were all earned and all came at key times for the Dogs.
Trent Brown was fearless. He was in a zone, I guess you'd have to say, kind of a cliche, but man, he was ready to catch and shoot and deliver and just had one of those special nights. He was what Coach Weber would say, he was playing at the magic level.
Not to say that it was really nerve wracking in the final 20 seconds of the game, but it really was less nerve wracking when AJ Ferguson makes the defensive play and goes for the two-handed slam to seal the game. Put the coaching hat on for us. How big of a play was that for AJ in the game? And what does that show about him moving forward?
Obviously, it finished the game. 5-point game with almost 18 seconds to go in college basketball. That's typically a 3-possession situation when you get into the foul deal. So it won the game. But the big thing that it showed all of us watching, but certainly his coaches and teammates, is just how he continues to show his knack for the ball, how he can get into the right spot. Some guys have it, and that number is very few, and most guys just don't. They just don't know how to anticipate what has to happen. It was great how he cut off that passing lane, got his hands in that lane without creating a foul.
Let's get into talking about Valpo. The Beacons, they're under a new direction, and Roger Powell Jr., he's taken over, which you were able to catch up with Coach Powell this week, as he, of course, has a really good tie to the Saluki program in terms of playing for Coach Weber at Illinois in his undergrad years, knowing Jarence Howard as well, who, of course, is on staff here for the Salukis as well. I know the record is not where they want it. This is a very young team. He took over late, which makes that even more of a challenge to get the right pieces in. But at times, Valpo has shown this year, whether it's at Illinois against good competition, Isaiah Stafford, he could score it now, Coach Watson. He can be a guy that can make you nervous.
He was teammates with Swope also at Southern Indiana. And then, of course, Stafford went to John A. Logan and gave them a scoring punch at about 13 points a game that helped them win a national championship. When any coach has a guy like Xavier Johnson, like Isaiah Stafford, that can get you a bucket, that really helps with a lot of pieces. But this team is a lot more than just Stafford. They have very good young guys, especially inside. Again, we keep talking about good guards that we play against. We talk about the teams that Southern plays that has good big guys. And I think their rebounding is something you've got to really think about as to why this team can be very good. Look, Bradley got away from him. Stafford didn't play in that game, and that's 20 points off of about a 24-point, 26-point deficit that would have made a big difference.
These two teams only met one time last year, and it was a game that was tough to win it on the road for SIU. Only 2 wins all time at the Arc. Granted, this will only be the 6th all-time meeting coming up tonight.
There's a lot of similarities. The weather was kind of weird. At Valpo a year ago, it was kind of a cold, typical winter night in northern Indiana, and Southern had the lead most of the game, and then Cricky got going in the second half, and J.D. Mula couldn't stop him, and Clarence Rupert couldn't stop him, and he was going to work. Valpo takes a 6-point lead, and in comes Scotty Abube, and all of a sudden Cricky didn't have those same angles, and his defense for 2.5 minutes was a big factor in the victory on the road. Yes, it is hard to win at Valpo. It always has been. It always will be. And as this Valpo team gets older and more experienced in the league this year, it's going to get even tougher. Southern's going to have their hands full, especially from the inside out.
Our pregame show tonight from the Arc will begin at 6 o'clock Central, with tip-off following at 7. So however you listen across the Saluki Radio Network, we look forward to you joining the Coach Rodney Watson and I tonight from the Arc. So for the coach, I am Luke Martin. We will talk to you tonight at Valpo. Go Dogs.